Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about this truck body. This is a brand new truck body with the load covering solution sliding tarp system on it. We have a traditional aluminum bulkhead with a 3-panel 717 grade tarp. We are going to talk about, in this video we are going to talk about what are the features that we have in this unit and what are the enhancement that we have in our system. So we're going to start at the back. I'm going to open the rear flap. So let's go. So first of all, we are going to open the rear flap. So we have a 4-inch wings with the shock cord. So we got to remove the shock cord and open the wings on both sides. Now we have a crank storage normally under the track right here. So you unpin it and you remove it out of the storage. The swivel end, insert it into the tube, and then you got to roll it up. Now you can store it up there as is. Now let's talk about more features that we have on this unit. This unit is equipped with the 4-lifter setup. That means it has, you will see there are 4 arms each section. So the one in the middle with the hinge, we call it is a double uplift, and then we have a 4 lifter after that. So what it does, it helps with the tarp pleating. We also have an option with our new clips that are on the car plate, where if customer needs a more clearance where the load is high, so we can add a 6th uplift. So we call it a 6 lifter. So what happens? It reduces the pleating in the corners. So if you have like a square load and very high, so you can get by it without damaging the tarp or without scraping over it. This is a stainless steel insert with a stainless steel wheel on it. It's very common that the operator can hit the track. So in some cases, what happens once you hit the track itself, you can't roll the system. So to avoid all that, what we did, we added a bump guard. So we're gonna show it, and we're gonna use this to show it. So as you can see, if I'm coming from the side, it saves your tarp at the car, like all the way. You can see it will protect it. So say if it's like, unless it's like very high speed hit, it's of course it's going to damage the kit. But if it's like just a touch or scrape, it will at least save your cars. It will save your car plates, and you can still operate your system. It might bend your bump guard, but it won't do any harm to your track. So as long as your track is good, you'll be able to use the system. So let's operate the system. So what do we have? We have air locks at the front that is operated by the air, and then we have our local load tensioning system at the back. So we always release the tension before we open the system at the front. So we're going to do that. So we have this crank storage on the rear car. It travels with the car all the time. So you remove it, you open the system. Very simple to operate. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. can see it's very easy to open the system. Now once it's open, you can either store it back in the storage, or you can just leave it on the, however you prefer it. So in this case, we can push the system. We're going to push the system to the front. Because it's windy, we're going to watch for the tarp so it doesn't get pinched. So as you're walking, you can just simply move the tarp out of the way. Now here's the trick. If you want to leave your system at the front, you can simply use this here and put it under the wheel. It's very easy, and it will stop your system wherever you need to stop. You don't need any fancy locks because they get knocked off with the loads or anything. So they don't stay for long. So this is the easiest way you can do it. One of the tricks that we learned over time. So as you can see, once it's pleated, you can see with the quads, like 4 lifters, there's a very less pleating. So we are about like 6 inches with the tarp pleat. You can see in the corners and at the top. So what happens if you only have a double hinge uplift, you will have about 12 inches to 10 to 12 inches to 13 inches of a tarp pleat coming down. Once you go to the 4 lifter, it reduces down to 6 inches. Now when you go to the 6 lifter, it can even reduce down to like 3 to 4 inches. But with the 6 lifter, you won't have that corner pleat in the corner, so it gives you that corner clearance. So now what we're going to do, we are going to operate this system from front to the back, and then we're going to release the lock, or we can release the lock. So let's release the lock first at the front while we have it at the front. So to release the air locks, we have a switch right under here, which we can press, and it will open. So now, as you can see, the cylinder is extended and it's unlocked. Now we can pull the system to the back. Now while you're at the back, you can either push the system or you can pull the system. Now there's only one difference when you do that. So when you push the system, your tarp's gonna start pleating right away. But say if you have like a higher load and you want to clear it, so it's easier if you pull the system. So just watch the tarp as I pull the system while standing here from the front. So you just simply like grab the tarp and start pulling. Now that we have the system at the back, I'll show you our track, and we'll use this again. So we showed you how when you hit from the side, it protects the tarp. But now that forklift's gonna come from the side to load the trailer, there's a possibility it can hit. So what happens? This bump guard, if the forklift hits it, this bump guard stops it from touching the actual track. Now you can come it from any angle. You can come from any angle, but there's no way you can hit the track unless you're really damaging it. In that case, you're gonna damage something else regardless. So that's one of the enhancements we have in our track. One thing I forgot to mention, you can see these little slots underneath the grooves. We use these to install our light bar. So what you do, once you have the track on, you see, okay, I need some lights on the side, and and you need that. So what you do, you buy the extrusion, you clean the track, and you slide it on. Once you slide it on, and then you put like a one rivet, or you can just leave it as is. It will stay in place. You don't have to put any bolts, you don't have to put any rivets, and it stays in place. So that's one of the other enhancement that we have on our truck. Now we are going to talk about the front locks. So we have it as the setup we have is gravitational. So what do I mean by gravitational? So you can see we have our air cylinders at the bottom facing up. So right now the air lock is in open position, so it's extended. The piston inside is extended. So when we lock it, which I'll show you, so once you press the button, you'll see it'll move, come down. Now this is a lock position. So what happens, it gets locked in 4 points in those 4 pedals that are mounted onto the front car. So the advantage of having this is longevity, and say for example you lose the air, the gravity of the lock is not going to allow the front locks to open. Before we used to have the cylinder at the top, so there was a possibility, which didn't happen, but in case ever you lose the air, it will start dropping, and you will lose you won't be able to lock the system. So by having the cylinders at the bottom and the piston all the way inside, it's sitting in its natural it's natural, you can say it's natural form, because that way it can take the beating and you won't damage the shaft and the piston coming out of the cylinder. So that's the reason why we have it at the bottom, because there's a seal that goes on top of the cylinder that can get damaged if you're locked while your piston is out. So that's a little setup for the air locks. Now we are going to bring the system to the front and lock it, and then we're going to tension the system back. So you press this button right here, and it will lock the front car. Once the front car is locked, now you can tension the rear. So what you want to take your locomotive flipper and lock it in place behind the we call it a block. So it goes there. So you use the crank. Just reverse the step. Start tension. Normally go like 2 fingers from the back. We use this bolt right here as a reference to where to stop the system, and you can also check it by hitting the tautness of the torque. The same on the other side. Same. And store the cranks in storage. Now we're going to bring the rear flap. Store the crank storage. You gotta check if it's locked in position by the lock here. Just square it. Wing on. Both sides. The shock cord back on. That is how you lock the system. Yeah, that is all. Thank you for watching.